Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an awesome special video in store for you guys. We have Ms.FitVegan. We're all the way in Miami. She's 10 plus years vegan and I am 7 years almost vegan. We're both raw vegans and we're going to talk about everything we have learned in these, what is that, like almost 20 years combined, right? 19 years, I think.
Yes.
Raw vegan. So this is going to add so much value. This is something I wish I had when I went raw vegan, and there's so much great information and experience in this one. So watch through to the end and make sure you follow, subscribe to both of us. I'll put it down below and let's hop right into it. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, boo. I'm excited for this.
Me too.
Because I needed this
Yeah,
12 years ago.
me too. And you
I
look
really did.
amazing. Look
Oh,
at you.
thank you.
You're so gorgeous.
Just for you.
No, you look so good. And we are organized today. I have the laptop because I
have
don't
my
want to
notes.
miss any points for you guys. And you have your notes. So
Yes.
let's hop right into it. There's so many things. So let's start with you. You're our amazing guest.
Okay, yes. So before I went raw, I needed to know that everything is hard before you know how to do it. Jillian, I was so stressed when I went raw because I was so scared I was going to be protein deficient. My B12, my iron, I was too much sugar. I was like eating too much, eating too little. How many calories? I was stressed out.
Yeah.
So I used to I remember going to the movies with a big Tupperware of sunflower seeds because I read that sunflower seeds have 9 grams of protein per cup and I needed to make sure and get enough protein. So I'm eating these dry ass sunflower seeds at the movies. And now I eat grapes at the movies. You know what I mean? Like now I don't worry. So I needed to know in the beginning that everything's hard before you know how to do it. And please understand that every single I can't, it's actually an I haven't. So when you go raw, it will get easier the more you do it. Just like riding a bike, just like driving a car, just like doing anything, just like doing these podcasts.
Yeah.
It gets easier every single time you do it. So you need to know, yes, it's going to be hard in the beginning because it's a learning curve. You got to know how to do it. And so that's the first thing I needed to know.
That's a huge thing. It does get so much easier. Really, I think people at first think, oh my gosh, I could not eat only raw food. And maybe they want to try it, but they don't realize, for me, it's all I crave and want now. I never miss the old foods. Even my family doesn't eat raw vegan. They eat cooked food. And I look at it, I have no desire to even eat it. So it does get easy.
And isn't it easier to eat raw now?
It's so much easier.
Right?
People comment on my channel, all on my Instagram, mostly on Instagram Reels. They get a little bit heated on there. I'm just like, I'm not telling you to do this. Do what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
This is me over here sharing what I do.
Yeah.
But they get heated and they're like, this is a full-time job. This is nuts. Like, how do you even work? I'm like, take a look at my content. I put out so much content constantly. If it's that much work, I wouldn't be putting out all this content, doing all this. So you're not in the kitchen full time. Because look how much we're doing all the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay, there is a way to do the raw food diet where you're in the kitchen 24/7. You know what I mean? Doing all the dehydrated stuff, doing all these crazy recipes with 25 ingredients. But if you're getting a green juice out of a juice bar, or if you're cutting a melon and eating it, this is the easiest, most healthiest, and simple, delicious way to eat on planet Earth. Seriously. And I save so much time. I see my roommate cooking.
Yeah, you save the cooking
doing the
time.
dishes, and I'm just I'm just here eating the second I want to eat. I cut my melon and I eat it.
Yeah.
So it's very simple, it's very easy, and there's ways to make it easier, and we're gonna do another video on that too.
Yeah, we are. So make sure you guys follow, subscribe. And speaking of I love our combo videos, our little videos here. And speaking of dehydrated, this is a big thing I've learned in my almost 7 years raw vegan, is that dehydrated and dried foods do not make me feel as good. It's easy to go to restaurants and be like, this raw vegan pizza, or get creative with your dehydrator, and it's fun and it's delicious for a treat. But for me personally, I've learned it does not make me feel as good at all. I almost feel like I may as well have some cooked food then, because it's so dehydrated, it lacks the water, and I really don't feel as good. So that's a big thing. And what has your experience been with that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Same experience. I bought a dehydrator in 2011. I've used it maybe 5 times, Jillian. I feel you are what you eat. We all know this, right? It's an old adage. If I eat dehydrated foods, I feel dehydrated. Because that's what it is. If I eat sweet, juicy, delicious fruit and veggies, if I eat things that are alive, I feel alive. So, that's the same reason I don't eat dead animal body parts, is because they are dead. I want to feel alive. I don't eat things in packages and cans and bottles because they're dead. And so, yeah, dehydrated foods can be fun when, Christmas time or Thanksgiving or whatever. You make it once in a while. Kale chips once in a while, sure. I do something with yellow dragon fruit. I cut it into cookies. and dehydrated, it's literally a chocolate chip cookie. But I'll do this once a year, maybe at most, because same, I don't feel good. My digestion isn't good. I break out.
Yeah.
I get dry skin. I feel tired. I don't feel good. So I don't personally know how people eat a lot of dehydrated foods on this diet. I think people do it and then they don't like the diet and then they go back to eating crappy food.
Yeah.
So the key is to eat as much fresh food as possible.
Yeah.
And you might as well just eat cooked food if you're going to dehydrate it.
I
right?
agree. Like, I would love to be able to eat it all day, every day, but I just feel weighed down. And I know you said you are what you eat. It's funny because I was in Coconut Grove, Miami the other day.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to check out this area. And I saw like this pizza box company, they have on their box, you are what you eat. I thought that was funny because I'm like, that's on a pizza box? You'd expect that on like a juice bar?
There's a place called Heart Attack Grill.
What?
Jillian, it's like very insane what's going on here. Like people actually eat there. It's very popular. I think that's what it's called.
Wow, Heart Attack Grill?
Something like this.
Let us know in the comments, you guys. Are there any other places around like this? Because maybe they're just... it's a good title if you want to get attention, right? It's a good a title for the media to get people in there, maybe, because it's just so crazy.
Yeah, and to have You Are What You Eat on the pizza box, I think people are just they're not fully conscious. People are walking around in like a daze because, when you eat crappy food, you don't think properly. You have brain fog. You're like not really alive. You're not really here.
Yeah.
And when I started eating raw, Jillian, that's when I woke up. And I started actually feeling like I was alive for the first time in my life. So I believe people don't even, they see it, but they don't really register exactly, oh, you are what you eat. So why am I eating this greasy, very unhealthy food? Everybody wants to be healthy. Well, if you want to be healthy, you've got to eat healthy.
Yeah, exactly. I think if I were to eat the pizza and you are what you eat and I were to eat the pizza, I would have brain fog. I would get acne again on my back.
You look like a pizza.
Yeah.
With the pepperoni.
That's
what
the
I look
thing.
like.
And I think just the brain fog thing is so underrated. Yes. Even the other night, I had a big dehydrated meal that I don't usually have. It was a lot of it was a raw vegan pad thai and it was delicious, but I don't usually eat that way. I usually eat really clean because I want to feel amazing. And it was just very heavy. And then I noticed it had an impact on my brain and I wasn't as productive and it wasn't as clear headed. And it's a big difference. There's a huge connection between how you eat and your mental clarity. Yes. And it's just one of my favorite parts of eating this way.
Same.
Okay, so maybe we'll go through another one of my points. We did this in our last video, but cacao is toxic and stay away from it. That's something I've learned in almost 7 years raw vegan. Every time I've tried it time and time again, I don't know if it's the 𝙎𝘼𝙈 stimulant in it or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but every time I go up, I come down like a crackhead. And it sounds crazy. It makes people oh, sure, Jill, you're a nerd, saying that, right? But no, it's nuts.
In the raw vegan community, some of us call it Cacao. I'm not sure who coined that, but it's pretty fitting because yes, cacao contains caffeine, which contains 𝙎𝘼𝘈𝙾, which is a neurotoxin. And by the way, caffeine is a registered pesticide. So
wow.
There is nothing healthy about cacao. And I just want to say about cacao, I was also falling prey to this. It has antioxidants, it has this and that. It's great for your heart chakra or whatever they say. David Wolf used to say.
Yeah, it makes you feel loving for a bit, but then I feel depressed and hateful.
Yeah. Yes. And so now, drug. Yeah, it's like a drug. And so what I was going to say was that, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, I cut in there.
No. But, oh yes, here's what I was going to say. Yeah. So even cigarettes, nicotine has niacin, vitamin B3. I'm not going to smoke cigarettes to get B3. You see what I'm saying? I'll eat passion fruit, which is very high in B3.
Yeah.
So even though cacao has antioxidants, we shouldn't be eating that for the antioxidants. We should find something that is healthy which has no negative side effects, like berries. You know what I mean? All fruit has antioxidants. So I think it's very important for us to look at the whole totality of ingredients, not just one thing that it has in there. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anybody feels great on cacao. Some people are more sensitive. You and I are probably a little more sensitive. Mm-hmm. But that's why, there's many ways to do the raw food diet. If you feel great,
yeah,
do it, boo.
If you feel great, do it. I mean, I wish I could do it.
Same.
I wish I could have it in my, those smoothies with peanut butter, cacao, dates, bananas, or eat the raw chocolate bars every day, but I just can't. And you mentioned, cigarettes. Back in the day, there used to be ads saying smoking is good for pregnancy, I think, right? Yes. Or it's so wild to me. So I wonder what there is right now in our society that will ever get to that, where there's a lot of things I see that I think are crazy, but I wonder if there will be times where people are maybe it'll be cacao or it'll be something. You never know,
or
right?
Meat and dairy, hopefully one day.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? or processed sugar or, you know, anything like this. Okay, another thing that I learned in the last 12 years, which I'm so grateful I learned, there is protein in everything. Okay, so like I said, when I first started, I was a crazy protein, like obsessed person because I thought I was going to die of a protein deficiency because that's what I was told. You need to eat meat and dairy, chicken, eggs, things like that for protein. Especially, okay, if you go vegan, you need to at least have complete protein like quinoa or beans. Doctors told me this, and I didn't want that because, well, when I ate beans, I got really bad gas and bloating, and I started reading this stuff from, you know, Fred Bishi and all these raw foodists that were not eating quinoa or beans. So I learned that every fruit and every vegetable has protein in it. We don't need to worry about protein. I learned that there's no such thing as a protein deficiency unless you're starving to death in a third world country. I learned that if you eat any fruit or vegetable, you're getting enough protein. I got a blood test last year after 11 years being raw. My protein levels are above average. This is why it is very important. Okay, get your blood work done once. You know, I don't recommend it every single year personally, but get it done and find out. And then so you have that proof to tell people, because your family and friends are going to say, you're going to die of a protein deficiency. But if you just got a blood test and it says you're protein perfect, you can show it to them. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to die. And, you know, I was definitely ostracized in my family. Everybody thought I was like crazy. They called me a fanatic for a long time. But then after a while, they started seeing that I was losing weight. I was feeling better. I had all this energy. I was doing all these things, and they wanted to feel like me. So then people started asking me for advice after, you know, it took a while. But yeah, protein is in everything, and you don't need to count protein. You don't need to count calories on this diet. You don't need to, you know, write down everything you're eating. You just need to eat enough. Eat when you're hungry. Stop when you're full. Fruit and vegetables are all you need when it comes to protein.
Good point.
Yeah, nuts and seeds have protein too, but it's not necessary. Protein is not what we need. What we need is fresh food. We need vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. We need the fresh live enzymes in food to make us feel good. We don't need to worry about protein. Okay, that's my protein rant.
No, that was good. That was true. And I mean, I don't really hear of people being like, I have a protein deficiency. And it's good you checked your blood work. Mine too. My protein levels have always been great. And that's something that I've learned in the 7 years too. Like you said, to check blood work. I think that's important. And I know we bring that up before, and then I think like, then you can see like you didn't need to supplement, but I did. So like, I think it's important. It's something to definitely do. Okay, so this is an important point. This is something I've really learned, is to eat a lot of calories. I think with raw vegan, the portions, you have to increase them compared to what you're used to with the standard American diet. I used to eat like bacon and eggs for breakfast, or dinner would be like pork chops and potatoes and like a corn on the cob. And the portion sizes now that I eat are like a lot larger, or a lot more food, because the raw food digests so much faster. So wouldn't you say that that's something that is important or has been for you?
Oh, yes. If you're going to be raw, that's one of my points actually. If you're going to go raw or you're going to get healthy, you're going to be eating much bigger sizes than most people. Okay, because they're eating very dense, calorie rich foods, you know, meat and these things like this. They have a lot of calories in a very small container. But, you know, to eat enough calories from fruit and vegetables, you're going to eat a much bigger size. And people for the rest of your life, they're going to say, isn't that too much? That's too much food. I don't think that's healthy. They're going to say it, and you're going to have to just get used to it. After, you know, I know my roommate, I've known her for 20 years. I've been raw for 12. Just the other night, I'm eating this big salad. She's like, isn't that too much? Like, don't you think that's too much? And you just say, you know what?
Yeah.
It's definitely not. Because this is like less calories than that little bowl of rice that you're eating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not the same at all. And these things have so many calories in the meat and dairy and processed foods that they can't compare. And what we're eating is so water rich that you got to have more of it. So yeah, absolutely. You got to eat enough, and you cannot starve yourself. You've got to eat when you're hungry. If you don't get your calories from fruit, you're going to get your calories from other food, okay? Processed foods and chips and all these things that you don't really want.
Yeah, that's why I love how it's so water rich. That's what I notice if I have anything else, like the dehydrated or like a heavier meal, I feel so thirsty. And I'm just like, oh, and then they've said even just a little bit of dehydration can cause anxiety or cause other things. Like it throws you off in different ways. And yeah, those are great points. And even about the fruits and vegetables, I know I told you before, but G. Bryant, who I interviewed, he did 1 year only fruits and vegetables. Wow. No nuts or seeds even, for like a cellular cleanse. Have you ever done that? Have you ever tried periods with like no overt fats, like no nuts or seeds or?
Yes, I went 6 months a few years ago. Personally, I felt great, but I did it to lose weight. At the time, I wasn't exercising. I didn't know how important exercise was. So I was just doing it just to see what would happen. I didn't personally lose any weight, but I felt great. I felt really good. Yeah, I think for sure if I would have like worked out, I probably would have seen more weight loss with that. But I wanted to experiment.
Yeah, no, that's when I feel really good. If my fats are lower, that's another thing I've learned in like these many years or whatever. If my fats are lower, I feel my best. And sometimes I'll do a cleanse, like no fats, no avocado, nuts and seeds, like overt fats for like a week or a month or something. And I feel really good. I'm just like clear headed. But then some people thrive on high fat. So like it's all about listening to yourself. Would you not say?
Yes. Yes. I don't personally know anyone that thrives on high fat, like personally.
Yeah.
But I mean, I see them online and they're doing what's best for them, and that's like the most important thing. You got to do what's best for you, because not everything is for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone should be raw, because not everyone wants to be raw. If you don't want it, it's not for you. If you're suffering through this raw food diet, something has to change, because you're not supposed to be suffering. You're supposed to love it. You're supposed to feel good. You're supposed to feel vibrant and have lots of energy and heal your health issues. You're not supposed to be like, oh, I hate eating this way.
No, you're supposed to love it.
Watch Jillian's show, talk to us, and find out like what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing it right.
No.
Another one of my things that I learned, Jillian, is that elimination is very important. Okay, so I have discovered that elimination is even more important than addition. What I mean by that is that if you are not having good elimination, then something is wrong and you can't expect to be very healthy. Every single disease starts in the colon. And so we need to make sure our colon is clean. And I know this is not like the sexiest topic ever, but this is why fruit and vegetables work so good. They help to move things along and clean the colon. High fat things like avocados and nuts, lots of nuts, they will make you feel constipated.
Yeah.
Anyone. And so elimination is key. I always recommend colonics, gravity method, closed system colonics to anyone on earth. Most people are walking around with 5 to 25 pounds of undigested fecal matter in their colon.
Yeah. Even sometimes if they have a really flat stomach, they can still have that in them, right?
Oh, yeah. And so because the colon is 30 feet and it can be really impacted in there. So it's not a big deal. And if you want more information, just reach out to me. I don't work for a colonic place, but they saved my life. They really helped me be healthy and clear my acne and like feel better and be able to go to the bathroom, because I was constantly constipated, like chronically constipated. And that is no fun at all. And so I think elimination has to be very, very important on the diet. If you're not going to the bathroom at least 2 times a day as a raw vegan, something is wrong. Okay. If you're not going once a day, something's very, very wrong.
Yeah. No, I've met people that were like, I used to go once a week or once every 2 weeks. I would be so moody. Yeah. I think colonics are one of my favorite things I've discovered on this path too. Because this lifestyle, as you take care of yourself, then you find other things that are positive for you to take care of yourself. And the colonics are one thing I've discovered too. I do them now and then. And it's crazy. Sometimes I'll think, okay, there's nothing else to come out. And then I'll go for one now and then. And it'll just be like 45 minutes and I'm like, where's all this coming from?
Okay. Same. And I only do one now when I'm sick. Like if I ever got sick, my first thing that I would do is get a colonic. Yeah. Because I know that if I have a cold, it's starting in my colon. My colon is not clear. I cannot, my immune system is not working properly if I'm getting sick. So I need to clear out my colon. And I would recommend anyone that hasn't had one, definitely look into one, but do a closed system colonic.
Yeah. And you know what? Next time I come, I'm going to bring my videographer. We're going to do some content.
We're going to do colonics.
He's going to come with me. I was thinking we should go to a colonic place and show people what they can expect. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
And people, make sure you guys subscribe for that. And people want to see us go to the raw restaurants. And there's a few things we could do. It would be fun.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Live colonics.
Yeah. The next one is, this is a point I made. Cheat days are not worth it. That's what I've discovered on this path. It's just not worth it. It's not even just one day. It's going to throw me off for a few days because my digestion changes. The last time I came to Miami, I had a cooked meal at the vegan festival.
Right.
And it was the first time I'd done that since
like
I don't know when.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it made me feel brain fog, tired. I feel like I was hungover the next day. Throws you off for a bit. It's not worth it to me. I think if some people, if they can stay on track better, having things in moderation, great. but I've learned they don't work for me. How has it been for you?
Yeah, same. And through this diet, through this lifestyle, I have learned to eat for my future. Okay, and like so, same. I don't cheat. I don't have cheat meals, and I don't indulge in things that I don't want to eat because it is never worth it in the long term and the short term. I don't want to feel like crap. If I eat crap, I'm going to feel like crap. You know, I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel tired. I don't want to have breakouts. I don't want to deal with like, you know, the things that most people deal with, stomach aches and headaches and things like that. I've done that before and I don't want to go back. And so when my clients ask me, don't you ever crave cooked food? No, because I think about what's going to happen if I would eat that. And also as a former food addict, like abstinence is way easier. Not eating it is way easier than having a little bit and then like craving it and then wanting it more. You know, like I don't believe in moderation personally. I don't think we should be eating bad things in moderation. You know, there are some foods that like, you know, they're healthier than others on the raw food diet, like cashews. Okay, if you want to eat them in moderation, that would probably be a good idea. But eating junk food, eating things that are processed that you know are not healthy, I don't believe we should eat those. I don't think it's possible to eat them in moderation. They're so stimulating that you want more and more and more. So I totally agree. Cheat days are not worth it.
They're
and
not
it
worth
throws
it.
you off and it just takes forever to recover.
It does. And it's like, I love that quote by Esther Blumenfield, I think, what you eat today walks and talks tomorrow. That's like my favorite quote. And it's so true.
Oh, that's good.
How you eat today, it's how you are tomorrow, right?
Yes, I love that.
It's so true. That's one of my favorites.
Yes. Okay, another thing that I learned is that exercise is so important for digestion. Okay, have you experienced this?
So true. Yeah, I was telling you before we got on the other night, I had a big gourmet raw meal, which I don't usually do. And I felt like it slowed my digestion. I was so thirsty. Had a bit of brain fog. I was like, oh, I'm not used to feeling this way. I don't like it. I went to the gym. I worked out for an hour. It got things moving. I felt way better. I was back to normal. So
and you went to the bathroom after, right?
Yeah, I went to the bathroom right after. I had to leave the gym, not to be too graphic and disgusting, but I had to leave the gym to find a bathroom. So I'm like, perfect. This is what I wanted. So like, exercise is so important.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I never knew that exercise was a part of being healthy. Like I just was so focused on the food, Jillian, that like if I was just going to be raw, then everything was going to be perfect. I was going to lose the weight. I was going to have everything, you know, I was going to feel great. And I did feel much better going raw. But then after many, many years, I wasn't like super like feeling great. I wasn't super healthy. And I realized it was because I wasn't taking care of all the other aspects of health. So like this is a 2-in-1 thing. Okay. So exercise is really important for digestion, but there's other things that go into being healthy, not just eating raw foods. So exercise, getting outside into nature. Okay. Making time every day for doing something you love.
That's key.
Feeling like you're living on purpose, like feeling fulfilled, okay, being around people you like to be around, feeling good, laughing, like having a good time. This is a part of being healthy. You know, there's sleep, okay, drinking enough liquids, water. There's a lot of things that go into it. So raw foods is not a panacea. This is important to note. And there's other things too. There's a whole holistic wheel of health that we need to focus on as well as the foods.
Yeah. That was well said. That was amazing. And another thing that I've learned, I think, is to always be prepared. That's been key for me on this journey. Always be prepared. Mind you, I had blood sugar problems before I was raw and like I had to be prepared or I'd pass out or be like the biggest biatch you ever met. But like always be prepared if you're going to a party, if you're going in the car on a road trip, no matter where you're going. Don't you think that's been key for your journey? Like it's not even a big deal, right?
No.
Yeah.
Now, because, you know, I've been doing it for so long, it's easier for me to be raw than to be cooked, you know? Because, like, I mean, if I'm going on a road trip, I'll bring grapes or I just stop at a Target and I'll buy a thing of oranges, the easy peel oranges. So easy. So simple. I'll make a smoothie. I'll grab it. I'll go. You know, yeah, if I was making all this gourmet stuff, that would probably be hard for me because I want to do other things besides be in the kitchen. If you're somebody who loves to cook and you love being a chef, get a dehydrator and do it up, you know, but like that's not me. I like to do like things that are very simple, quick and easy. And now it is very, very easy, but of course I know how to do it now. And you do need to be prepared. Yeah, that's a great point, Jillian, because the world's not set up for you. Like the world is not going to revolve around your raw food diet. You know what I mean? Like the world is set up for, you know, hot dogs and popcorn and, you know, you go to the basketball game and there's not going to be any fruit and vegetables there. So, by the way, when I go to concerts or I go to like events, I always bring fruit and they never say anything, ever. And by the way, here's a tip. Here's a tip. Okay. If you go to an event and you want to bring your own water and you want to bring like a smoothie or fruit, the best thing to do is bring fruit. But if you need to have liquids, okay, and they tell you no, you can't bring it, tell them that you are diabetic and you need your insulin and you need something to drink.
And then they let you take it in?
Or you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Tell them you're diabetic or you're pregnant.
Yeah.
And they always let me take it in. With the airplanes, by the way, you can't do that. Obviously, you can't do liquids.
Yeah.
But you can freeze your smoothie or your water and you can bring it on the plane if you freeze it. But I always just like drink lots before the plane, and then I bring foods that are easy to eat: grapes, cut up melon, apples. Don't bring things like bananas or pears or persimmons. That's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Anything soft you don't want to bring. But Jillian, I've done everything. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I feel like with planes, many times if we eat a lot first, we're probably okay for the flight. We don't have to have something on the flight, you know? Like when I traveled here, it ended up being a 5-hour flight because of the delay on the runway. But I had a big smoothie at the gate because they have smoothies or juices in a lot of places at the airport now.
Yes.
And then I was full, so I didn't need anything on the plane anyway, but that's a great tip. Yeah.
Yes, I opened up a raw vegan place in LaGuardia Airport. It's called Juice Press.
You did?
Yeah.
Look at you. I love it.
It's not my company, but I opened it for them.
Awesome.
And I used to be training the employees there. So if anybody goes through LaGuardia, raw vegan smoothies, everything you need. Cold pressed green juices, everything organic.
Cool.
Definitely check that out. I was going to say, I've done a lot of things too, by the way, that you shouldn't do. Like I've taken jackfruits on a plane. I've eaten a whole jackfruit on a plane.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not good. But, just do the simple things, the grapes, the cut up melons and things like that. And they let you on. There's no problem. I've never had a problem.
Yeah, lots of times I've taken food on a plane, but it's so confusing finding out the list of what you're allowed to travel with for food, because sometimes I've traveled with food and they're like, yeah, you're fine with that. And other times they're like, go in the room. Let's see if you're allowed to take this. It's really hard if you call the airlines to find a clear list. Am I allowed to bring walnuts? Am I allowed to bring this, like with where you're traveling?
You're international.
But it's different for you if you're traveling within the U.S. because you can bring anything pretty much,
anything,
right?
Except no liquids.
No, I'm in Canada, so I travel,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
If you're doing a salad, this is the only thing I've had an issue with. If you're doing a salad, put the dressing on the salad, mix it up. You can't have it separate. That's the only thing. But yeah, international, I don't really have experience
International's
with.
a little different.
Yeah, I don't have experience with that.
I know. I remember one time when I was going to Costa Rica, I had a bunch of fruit with me and I thought it was fine. And then we got to the Costa Rican airport and they were like, I'm taking all this food away. And I was like so mad and upset. It was such good fruit. Mind you, we just flew into Costa Rica and they have great food there. But I was
you got to be prepared.
It's such a shame to throw that out, but I get it. They have to have their rules. We got to follow along with the rules on this planet, right?
Yes. And this is the best tip, Jillian. Be prepared. Be prepared. And by the way, I always bring my fruit, even if it's a short flight, because I never know. Maybe the flight's going to be delayed, or maybe I'm going to sit on the runway for 8 hours. You never know what's going to happen. So never have an opportunity to just prepare. Never have an opportunity to fail.
Yeah, because then you might be tempted. Like, oh, there's New York fries. I don't have anything on me. Who cares? Let me eat those and enjoy some gravy.
And that's what happens to many of my clients. They're just not prepared.
Yeah, you got to really stick to it. And I think you have to prioritize yourself. That's what I've really learned too. No matter what people think, prioritize yourself. You're doing this. And many times you'll end up inspiring people. If you're at a party and you're not eating their like little beef Wellingtons and you're eating your blueberries, they'll be like, oh, you look happy. You got a lot of energy. Like, what are you doing, right?
What's a beef Wellington?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like I think beef Wellington is like a steak with bacon around it, but I could be wrong. Or it's like you guys got to let me know in the comments down below. I used to eat it, but now I forget. Or it's beef with pastry around it. It's one or the other.
I've been vegan so long. I don't know what this is.
I used to buy it at M&M shops all the time, like beef Wellington and hot and ready pizzas. I used to eat every night. Hot and ready pizza and beer was my like thing every night. A hot and ready pizza for $5.
And
so
now you're
unhealthy. Raw. Yeah. I used to think I could not live without alcohol. Anybody who does that is so lame and their life sucks. So it's way better without it.
Yeah. I never thought I could live the way I'm living. You never think you can before you do it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's important. People are always saying like, I could never do that. Yeah. Okay. Because you haven't done it.
Yeah.
We also said the same thing.
Yeah.
Every vegan or raw vegan says I could never do that before they go vegan or they go raw. So just know that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what have you learned makes you feel your best? For me, like over the years, I've learned like ripe, delicious fruit, like simple mono meal or green juice. Those two things make me feel my best. What about you?
Yeah, same. Exactly same.
Mm-hmm.
Also, not eating too late at night, because I have found that even if I'm eating a big, beautiful, delicious salad, but I'm eating it at midnight, doesn't digest. Like I don't feel so great the next day. You know what I mean? Like I can eat the perfect diet, but if I'm eating super late, then I won't feel great. I won't have good sleep and I won't feel my best. So yeah, for sure, you know, juices and smoothies, lots of mono meals. I love mono meals because they're so simple and easy. If anybody out there is having digestive issues, you want to really focus on mono meals, especially to find out what's causing your digestive issues. You know, if you eat some apples and you feel good, then you know apples are good for you.
Yeah.
And if you eat some grapes and you don't feel good, then you know grapes are not what your body wants right now. So mono meals are really helpful to me, and they're so simple and easy too.
Yeah.
You know, you just grab them and go.
They're the best. Like I did 21 days only watermelon, like an abundance of watermelon. I did that last summer. Recently I did 5 days just watermelon. Such a great cleanse. Have you done watermelon? You must have done Watermelon Island. Your basket. Guys, Jeanette's basket is even a watermelon. She's all about the watermelon.
Yes, I did a lot of these things in my past. I don't do them now, but I did 7 days on watermelon. I broke because I really wanted orange juice. And I was like, this is crazy. I really want orange juice. So I caved in. But yeah, for sure, the mono meals have really helped me not only feel better, look better, but also heal from my food addiction. Because the mono meals, Jillian, is what helped me know when I was full for the first time in my life. You know, I was used to eating and eating and eating. I was 60 pounds heavier than I am now. And I just never was full, ever.
Yeah.
And now,
crazy.
When I eat a mono meal, like I know I'm full because the food, like if I was eating mangoes the other day and they're so good, but like there's a point that comes where you're like, okay, I've had enough. I'm full, you know, 4 or 5 mangoes. But in the past, when I was eating burgers and fries and pizza, I would eat the whole pizza. I would still be hungry because my body wasn't getting what it needed. My body needed nutrients, vitamins, minerals, like usable protein. There's no usable protein in dead foods. So that's why.
That's funny. That's what happens with me too. With the one food, I feel so satisfied. And you literally, it's like almost impossible to overeat when you're just having a meal, the one food. And stopping eating like before bed, that's been a game changer for me. So most days I try intermittent fast, and I didn't even know what intermittent fasting was before I went raw. But I discovered it over the last few years, and I try and stop eating between 3 and 4.
I was going to ask you
It doesn't happen every day, but I try and eat like a big meal, like around between 3 and 4, and then don't eat again until the next day between 9 and 10. Makes me sleep so much better. And your body can focus on sleep then, not just focus on digesting the meal that's in your belly.
If people are watching this and they don't want to change their diet, just do what Jillian just said.
Yeah.
And it's going to help you so much. Even if you eat crappy, just start eating earlier and stop eating at least a few hours before bed. You're going to see a big difference. So I'm going to
There's big benefits. There's a lot of studies on that too, with so many benefits. And another thing is that I've learned, and a lot of people, I think some people don't think of it, but it's really important to eat ripe fruit, right? Ripe food, especially ripe fruit. And to know when the fruit is ripe. That's another video we could do when I come with my videographer. We could go to the market, show how to, because there's lots of little tips and tricks for how to tell when things are ripe. And it affects us, right? If we eat a banana that's not ripe, or a pineapple or something, it has a different effect on us, right? Than if it's fully ripe.
Absolutely. So like with the bananas, you know, if they're not ripe, the starch hasn't converted to usable sugar, and you might get constipated. You might get indigestion, bloating, and things like this. With the pineapple, I have so many clients that like they don't like pineapple because it always gives them canker sores, but that's because it's not ripe.
Yeah.
Pineapple, though, to be fair, it's the hardest fruit. Like pineapple has to ripen on the plant in order to be perfectly ripe. So honestly, you're probably never going to get a perfectly ripe pineapple unless you're in Costa Rica or here in South Florida.
Yeah. I get some good ones in Toronto. We have a good market called Ample, and sometimes they'll be really good. But I know what you mean. A lot of times they're not. And you're right. People say, I can't eat it. It makes it all like, makes my tongue do that. But I'm like, no, it's because it's not ripe when you eat it like that.
Yeah, it's an art, and there's a lot to learn, and it's amazing. I do have a tutorial on YouTube, so go to that. It's called Fruity Tutorial. You know, I love it. So yeah, let's definitely do that when you come back. I love it because it's like learning how to eat is such a uncommon thing. Nobody knows when to tell when fruit are ripe. So whenever I go to the store, like that's what I do. Like if somebody's like if I see they're picking out a bad piece of fruit and I see a good one, I will help them. I will tell them,
I love it.
You got to smell your oranges before you buy them. If they don't smell like an orange, it's not going to taste good. You know, like, and I try to help people because nobody knows. Like nobody knows limes. They're supposed to be light. They're supposed to almost look like lemons when they're ripe. everyone's buying these dark limes, but those are unripe. And so you're not going to get a high quality fruit, and it's not going to taste good. It's not going to have as much nutrients, and you're not going to enjoy it. So then you're not going to eat it. A lot of people say fruit doesn't taste good, or, you know, like they don't like a certain fruit. Like you just said, no, they just don't know how to pick it out yet. So we got to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially to get like the maximum benefits.
Yes.
And okay, another thing I've learned is this path has made me do a lot of research and learn a lot about the gut microbiome. And from all the research I've done, a lot of things and studies say that the longest living people have the most diverse gut microbiome. I mean, I'm sure it's not the case in every single person, because some people are like, well, all this person eats is a chocolate a day and, you know, they smoke a cigarette. Like, I get it. But in a lot of cases, the healthiest immune systems have the most diverse gut microbiome. And the best to me, and to a lot of studies I've seen, is as high plants as possible, like a lot of plants, a lot of different plant foods. So I try and get in a big variety. I try and even buy things I wouldn't normally buy, like dandelion greens, little different things now and then to feed different gut microbiomes. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so I have also read the studies, and I think it's better to eat more fruit and vegetables than very small amount of like crappy foods. You know, just eating just chicken, fish, eggs, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not very like I don't personally subscribe to us having to eat a very wide variety, because I believe Mother Nature perfectly put a lot of different micronutrients into every single fruit and vegetable. And so I don't worry too much about that. I've been doing it so long that I know that you don't have to eat a wide variety to be healthy. I don't eat a wide variety personally, but I eat high quality fruit. I make sure it's ripe, and I make sure it tastes good. The other day, somebody was saying that she had all these peaches and only like a few of them tasted good. What should she do? Like, should she just continue to eat, you know, the peaches that don't taste good? I would say no. If it doesn't taste good, it's probably not, it's not for you. You know, it's not high quality. And so, yeah, I don't eat fruit that doesn't taste amazing. I don't eat a wide variety. I mean, some people I feel like are theorists. I'm a practitioner, and so I've actually living the lifestyle, and I know that I don't need a wide variety to be healthy. Got all my blood work done. It's perfect. But that being said, I like to try new things sometimes, especially the fruit.
Yeah.
You know, especially new exotic fruits. So, yeah, that's my personal opinion. I do eat a lot of mono meals. But the people that are eating a wide variety, they're healthy too.
Yeah. And
So
I do
again,
that too. I eat a lot of mono meals, but then I'll try like incorporate different things.
There's-
Not like, I don't feel like I have to eat a million things in one day.
there's so many ways to be healthy, honestly. You just got to find the way that works for you. And for me, mono meals are like super simple. I love keeping things simple. But some people like a wide variety. And do it. If you like it, you got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, did you have another point you want to get to first?
Yeah, okay. My last point is that, well, you're going to eat more than everyone else. I think we said this in the last video we did. It's just important to note that you're also going to be a little different, and you're not going to fit in exactly. And then you have to become okay with that. When you go to restaurants, okay, you know, you're not going to find anything for you unless it's a raw vegan restaurant. You know, like, it's not going to be an amazing salad. You're not going to get high quality fruit.
Yeah.
The best thing is, well, you got to bring your own food or eat before you go. All right. It's just not going to work out great for you if you're going to a restaurant and expecting to have the most amazing raw vegan meal.
Typically,
and it's like a Denny's, you know?
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. You're going to be different. You're going to eat different. And don't, you know, you're on your path. You're on your own path, and you got to be okay with it.
Yeah. And that ties into the point I was going to say is I think community is really important. I think, and we're blessed nowadays that we can have that online.
Yes.
So that's been important for me, because typically, I mean, I don't have many real friends in real life back in Toronto who eat this way. There's Eli. He's a fruitarian, but there's nobody else I can think of really. The vegetable police is local to me. We're not close friends at all though, but he's the only one that comes to my head, and he flip-flops. He's so funny. Anyway, community is so important. So yeah, shout out to our group, Raw Vegan Heroes. I partnered with Shane. It's amazing. I joined that in 2019 when Ed and I had separated and my life was falling apart, and I was alone and I wanted to stay raw. So that helped me a lot, got me through my juice fast. It's amazing. And just online, even if you don't want to join that, just online, like following the pages, interacting with people, and having like that community. And I mean, some people have meetups, I think, in person. There must be some groups and stuff too, right?
Community is important because you are going to become the sum of the top 5 people you hang around. And if you don't have a community of people doing it, you might lose confidence in the diet. You might feel like, well, nobody knows doing it. Everybody at home, all my family and friends are telling me this is not healthy. Then you're going to start to believe it.
Yeah.
So joining a community is crucial. I have my own community, Misfit Mondays. Eli was just on it, actually, talking about blood tests. He was amazing. And also, we do the Woodstock Fruit Festival, too, which is an amazing place.
That's right. So is there going to be a Woodstock this year?
Ooh, okay, well, just this morning I was on the phone with a new venue. So I'm hoping, I can't confirm right now.
You don't have to say, too, if you don't want.
I'm hoping that January 2024, I'm going to have it here in South Florida.
Oh, that's perfect.
Keep you posted, Jillian.
I think that's a great location for it. I think it's perfect.
I found an amazing place with 15 acres of fruit trees.
Wow.
I found it's amazing. Lagoons and just gorgeous. Keep you posted.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll do a video on that
Hopefully by the time it comes out, we'll have information below and it will be in the books.
That would be amazing. Well, that's exciting. And that's a world-renowned festival. Everybody, I haven't been to one, but I'll definitely come if it's on. And the next one was, okay, we talked about this in our last video, but this is huge. A big thing I've learned is excess dried fruit, especially dates, will possibly destroy your teeth or have harmful effects, right? If you're getting carried away with like a lot of dates, it is quite possible you might get cavities, dental wear. I mean, it's a big theme I see in a lot of the people I interview. That's when I had sensitivity. And so I think that's something that we both probably learned along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. The dried fruit really did me in because I thought it was health food because it was a fruit and it tasted so good and you can eat so much of it and it's so convenient. And I used to eat so much dried mangoes and dates. But it turns out you want to stick to fresh, whole foods. You know, the dried fruit is kind of processed and the water's removed. The body needs the water. That's where the life force is. That's where the magic is. So you don't want to eat too much dried fruit. And if you do, make sure floss and brush your teeth after. Or if you can't, eat something green. Eat a celery or a cucumber, something green after to just remineralize your teeth and get that sugar off your teeth. But please don't confuse dried fruit with fresh fruit. Okay, this is important. People think that if you eat fruit, you're going to rot your teeth. This is not true at all. Okay, fruit is water rich, and so it doesn't stick to your teeth. Dried fruit is very sticky and sticks to your teeth. So please understand that. It's the dried fruit, not the real fruit.
Absolutely, 100%. And okay, another thing that I find fascinating is some of the raw vegans, I've noticed a lot of them that are 90 plus, it seems to be a common theme because I interview a lot of people is they eat an avocado a day. So I think that's interesting. Yeah. And Brian Clement, who I interviewed yesterday, he's 72. He said that he did this study, I think it was a year ago, and they discovered that women, when they ate an avocado a day, it took off like an inch from their waist or something. And men, it didn't have any effect. So I think avocados are great and they have a lot of benefits too. That's something I've learned.
I love avocados and I hate when people get afraid of overt fats. Okay. So like, the overt fats are not going to make you fat. Okay, here's what's going to make you fat. Eating too much and not moving your body. And eating late at night too. Okay, so I lost a lot of weight eating whatever fruit, vegetables, nuts, and seeds that I wanted. I lost 60 pounds. So please understand, do not be afraid of overt fats. Be afraid of processed foods. Be afraid of animal products. Be afraid of things that are not healthy. Overt fats are so healthy. If you're craving fat, you need fat. So avocado, coconut meat, durian, nuts and seeds. You know, I'm not saying to like go overboard and overeat them. No, but eat them, you know, as you want. And just don't be afraid of plant foods.
Yeah.
We have to stop this fear. Okay.
We do. There's a lot of fear. I get a lot of comments on Instagram. The toxins, the toxins, the toxins. Oh boy, like you have no idea. This is the defense mechanisms in these plants. They're going to destroy you. But the plants have reversed all the health problems I have.
I always comment, Jillian. I used to. Now I don't do it. I have too much to do. So I used to comment and I used to say, how long have you been raw? I'm just curious.
Yeah. That's the thing. G. Bryant said yesterday, he said, I don't comment on things I haven't done. So that's the thing, you know? Sometimes I can comment on the meat diet. I did the blood type O diet. It was a high meat diet before I went raw. I was not thriving. Like my friends would come over and I would be like, this is your dinner. Like my friend with MS came over. I was like, this is your dinner. Like, let's try this tonight. Maybe this will work. Like this might heal you a big plate of prime rib. That's what I thought was like the way.
I was on the Atkins diet. I guess now it's keto or whatever. I was on Atkins for a while before I went vegetarian and then raw vegan, and everything got worse. And yeah, I lost some weight, but all my health issues got worse. So is it worth it? Because the way you feel is the most important thing. If you're sick and you're super like fit and skinny, does it matter? You know, it doesn't matter if you have cancer and you're in the best shape of your life. What does it matter?
Yeah.
So please understand that you got to eat for your health and eat for your future and make decisions now that are going to help you in the future. All right. Things might taste good now, but you know what? Raw foods taste amazing too. Yeah. You just have to know how to pick your fruit out and find recipes you love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Good point. And I think, okay, my last thing is I think people need to listen to themselves more and not so much listen to influencers and gurus. And I think it's really important. People are so disconnected. They just see things and they think like, oh, but this person said this is the way, without trying it on your body too. And I mean, studies are great. Of course, there's so much value there and everything. But I think it's important really to listen to your body and what your body needs and not get too carried away of like, this person does this, I have to do everything they're doing type of thing. You know, that's what I've learned.
Yeah. Don't have a guru. Yeah. Even though I know you guys love me and Jillian so much and we're your gurus, but don't have a guru. Have a open mind and take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Because all of my health gurus, like I don't agree with 100%. And now I understand that I don't have to. I can take what resonates with me. I think that is the perfect way to end this video, Jillian, because that is the secret. You've got to listen to what you need. Maybe you need overt fats right now and your guru is saying those make you fat. The fat you eat is the fat you wear. That is not true. I promise you that is not true.
Yeah.
If you don't move your body, though, you can't lose weight. Like, you have to move your body. You can't have the body of your dreams without exercising. That's like the facts. And you can't have good digestion either. And so a lot of other things go into being healthy. Don't just follow somebody blindly, because that's where you make mistakes that aren't for you. And, you know, what works for one person might not work for you. I went through this without naming names early in my journey, and I got really disappointed when I didn't get the same results as them, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't eating the foods I wanted to eat. You know, I was eating lots of fats, and I wasn't eating any fruit because I heard fruit is too much sugar. Fruit makes you fat. This is what my early health raw vegan people told me. So anyway, that is solid advice. Listen to your intuition. It is the strongest force on the planet. A woman's intuition, well, there are men watching too, but a woman's intuition is the strongest force on the planet. Okay, I guess men's are the second strongest. So listen to it. It's there for a reason.
Yeah, and listen to her. She's amazing. Go follow 𝑀sFitVegan on her socials. I'll put them down below, and all her courses, amazing books. Her books are amazing. Let me tell you, I know we did the last plant-based bundle together, and I saw your book in it because we get access to everybody's books and stuff in those. And your book was amazing. It wasn't just, you know, I'm going to throw this book together for this bundle. She puts her heart and soul in
the raw vegan beauty book, I think you're talking about.
And so much value. So go grab her products. And I don't know if the plant-based bundle is on right now when this airs. Probably not, but possibly. But if it is, it's amazing. It's worth $4,000. My juicing book is in there. And it's got over 150 ebooks, programs, courses, guides. It's amazing. The value is huge for $50. So I'll link that down below, and I'll link all our stuff below. And follow, subscribe for the next one. Love you guys, and we'll see you in more of our collabs. Bye, guys.
Bye.